November 2020 Focus for Driving Safely. We all have a place called home where the driving journey starts and where it should end after work is over. There is nothing more common for all of us than driving. Almost everyone drive either for work, personal matters, or both. And without doubt, we all want to drive in a way that doesn't result in accidents, injuries, and vehicle damage. The challenge is that we all can have different perspectives of what it means to drive safely and how well we do it. Besides, our driving style and behavior are affected by many factors and can change easily from safe and adequate for the conditions to unsafe, unnecessarily risky. Some have not made it back as planned. Our employees have suffered injuries. We have caused injuries to the public. We have experienced many incidents in the organization that have prevented employees to go back home as planned. And while in recent years we have been fortunate that no employees have died or been seriously injured on vehicle incidents, multiple employees have suffered injuries, and we have seriously injured third parties. When we are on the road, our actions affect others as well. As an organization, we have also suffered severe negative financial impact as a result of more than 300 vehicle incidents during the last 4 years. And we have had to pay more than $6 million in damages to third parties, and that doesn't account for the damages caused to our vehicles and the impact on the operations. We can be better on the following areas. These 5 areas commonly related with the vehicle incidents that we have been experiencing at Aegeon. Distractions are not only electronic devices, but food, drink, reaching out for objects, and mind absence, among others. A great number of incidents have occurred for backing at the wrong time, without properly looking for what was behind you, or without the use of help when needed. Speed has been an important contributor in many incidents, and contrary to what you may think, it is not only speeding over the posted limit or company limits, but driving at speeds that are not appropriate for the environmental conditions, like dark roads, poor visibility, rain, mud, or snow. Even if we are driving at the right speed for the conditions, if we don't have enough distance from the vehicle ahead, we become vulnerable to any sudden maneuver of the vehicle ahead. We have less visibility of what is happening ahead, and we don't have enough space and time to stop if the vehicle ahead suddenly reduces speed.
Hey everyone, this is Ben Olivier, Southwest Gulf South Safety Manager. Today we're going to be discussing as far as about a demonstration ride. The demonstration ride is going to consider as far as one, journey management, right? You always need to have a plan of action as far as where you're going, pending as far as the vehicle or the equipment that you're going to be transporting. So that's real critical. Second is also as far as we talk about 360 walk around. You never know what can be in your surrounding as far as around the vehicle, or it may obstruct your path. So it's always critical anytime you're in and out that vehicle, you want to perform a 360 walk around. Okay, so that's critical. Back to the demo ride, we're going to be discussing as far as space management, as far as following distances, right? And you're going to, with the following distance, as far as understanding, having your eyes move around every 2 to 3 seconds, right? As far as you don't want to get fixated on something. And what's with us, as far as with our crew members or anyone, anytime we actually are mobilizing to another place, we always can get distracted or amazed by some maybe non-movable structure or whatever it may be, right? And we can become fixated. So the last thing we want to do is become fixated on something. So continue to keep your eyes moving every 2 to 3 seconds. Next thing you're going to be finding in the demonstration ride, it's about pull-throughs, right? When we're talking about going into establishments such as Lowe's, Home Depots, restaurants, just to name a few. We always want to try to find that pull-through. That pull-through is very important. I guess what that's for, it's for eliminating backing. Because without having proper spotters, it's an incident that's waiting to occur, right? So find pull-throughs. That opportunity for a pull-through may not happen right in front of the establishment as far as we would like to it. Walk out the door, walk into the place, right? We're not so lucky. So that may require us to walk a few distance, but at the same time, we know we can park safely and also remove ourselves from that establishment in a safe manner. Okay, next thing we're going to also be discussing, or you're seeing a demo ride, as far as looking at red lights, intersections, stop signs, those type of things. So signage is real important. Pay attention to your signage. Those signs are communication devices as we're traveling. That way you can establish enough time as far as your reaction, right? We definitely want to identify, and then we want to consider, right? And then once you consider, then you have time to act. So that's what these signs are for. So I hope this demo ride can help you identify and help you to continue to be successful as we're going down the highways, okay? I appreciate it. Thank you.
First, we'll discuss driving through a construction zone. When you're traveling through a construction zone, you should be aware of some driving strategies that will ensure greater work zone safety. Slow down. Always pay attention to the speed limit, especially in construction zones. Some states have increased fines for speeding. Do not be intimidated by others behind you encouraging you to drive over the speed limit. Please don't tailgate. Double the following distance to allow more time to stop or safely react in case of an emergency. Stay a safe distance away from construction workers and their equipment. And be sure to watch for stop traffic. Merge as soon as possible. Don't wait until the last minute to merge into another lane. If all individuals on the roadway cooperate, traffic flows well and efficiency improves. Be sure not to block traffic. This is a traffic violation in most states, and it does encourage road rage and aggressive driving in other drivers. Plan ahead. Drivers should plan ahead and expect delays. Highway agencies use different methods to inform drivers about work zone delays. However, they will often suggest a detour that will allow you to avoid the work zones.
Another thing too, especially when we get into the construction zones, and a lot of our guys are familiar looking for these signage. So as far as knowing that there's construction zone and there's a flagger up ahead, that's letting us know, or letting vehicle traffic know what to expect up ahead.
Space management. To drive defensively, you must manage the road space around your car. You can do that by controlling your speed, properly positioning your car in a lane, and communicating with other road users. The crucial concept is keeping a safe distance from the car in front of you.
Hey everybody, this is Ben Olivier again. So now we're going to do a demonstration ride. We're going to be jumping on the highway, and we're going to kind of go over as far as space management. One of our key areas we're talking about space management is between you and the next vehicle ahead of you. So just kind of sit back, enjoy the ride, enjoy the scenery out here in New Iberia, Louisiana, showing y'all some of this little country town that we in. So journey management, as far as knowing as far as where you're going, right? So we're making a right-hand turn here. That's kind of going before you get into the interstate, usually a yield sign, but again, always watching and looking. So gradually make that yield, but continually looking over your shoulder, making sure there isn't any oncoming traffic, right? So as you can see, it's a double road, right? Double lanes. We have signage. Signage is your communication for you as far as determining what's ahead. What are you looking for ahead? So as you can see, the sign stated that your right lane is going to be ending and we're merging on. So getting on the interstate here, this is Highway 90 going westbound, getting on gradually with the signals on at all times until you get in the lane that you want designated to get into. So knowing your speed limit. So speed limit here is 65. Just because the speed limit says 65, you do not have to do it 65. Do it what you're comfortable as far as you do not want to exceed that, right? Only if you have to exceed that is when need to, if you have to accelerate to get from a vehicle that may be merging onto the highway or a vehicle that's coming to more of a stop. That's when you may want to exceed that. But more so, you do not have to exceed or do that speed limit. So again, space management, as you can see up ahead, especially when you're in these type of areas in the state, you know, traffic is not severe as a lot of you guys are going to experience in other areas. As you can see, we have a clear pad at least probably a quarter of a mile or even further, right? Again, it all depending on the day, what type of the environment that you're in as far as the conditions, the weather. Weather is always a big factor. So continue identifying, guys. Again, one of the key things to remember is constantly moving your eyes. You want to continue moving your eyes at least every 2 seconds. Again, looking in your left mirror, looking in your right, and also your rear view mirror if you're having that opportunity. But again, a lot of you guys may be driving different equipment where you may not have that option for a rear view mirror, right? But you definitely do have a driver's side mirror and a passenger side mirror. So constantly continuing to be able to move every 2 seconds, guys. Again, why? You don't want to become fixated on an object. You know, that object, you know, what is fixated as far as if I'm looking at something and I may go maybe a minute or go even longer and my eyes are continuing to stay focused just on that one object. So moving your eyes constantly around every 2 seconds help to eliminate that problem. That way you're focusing on everything around you, and also the main thing is in front of you. So continually moving that. So as you can see, guys, it's still a clear area as far as with proper as far as space management, we having that. So as we seeing here, we have a emergency vehicle that's approaching on the rear of us. So there's not an opportunity for us to get over or anything. You definitely don't want to stop as far as on the side right here on the overpasses. But there is an emergency vehicle approaching. You gradually want to continue to decrease your speed. And if you have that opportunity, depends if you have more than 2 lanes, you want to actually go on and get over to the farthest to give that emergency vehicle enough space as possible, right? So again, emergency vehicle is passing, continually to decrease speed and continuing to watch on the left and the right in the rear view, and as that emergency vehicle is passing. So that's real important. That's another reason of why we want to continue looking in the mirrors, on all mirrors, and keeping your eyes moving, watching your surroundings, right? So space management. So we're going to just take, for instance, like there's this truck ahead. We know we well aware of that 3 to 4 seconds following distance of staying away, but just to kind of give you that idea what I'm referring to. So as that truck that's way ahead get to that green sign, that stationary sign, we want to count. So as we do it now, for instance, we're going to do 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. So as you can see, we're at 10 seconds. So that is way more time as far as what we have in case we had to react, right? That'll give us that time to react. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea, what are we looking for. But again, continuing, making sure you're constantly moving your eyes every 2 to 3 seconds. Another thing that you want to constantly move in your eyes as far as helping with that, of eliminating fixated, and also as far as having things that can affect your vision, is your instrumentations you have in your vehicle, such as your air conditioning. So if you have your air conditioning with your vents blowing on you, having that vent blowing on you will definitely definitely continue to irritate that eye, or even more so, how about even talking about the glare from the sun, right? So you want to, if you have some glasses that can help as far as have that barrier in between you and the sun, just to help you with that. Again, it's all about comfort as we're traveling. So continuing, guys, continue reading the signs. Our signs are in general are our friend.
Pull-through parking. Many fleet safety experts advise drivers to rely on pull-through parking. That's when a driver locates two empty spaces and drives through one space before parking into the other. As a result, the vehicle both enters and exits the parking space without ever having to back up.
Okay guys, another critical piece of the puzzle is for safe driving. A lot of it has to do when we are entering into a parking lot, into, you know, a couple of examples: restaurants, fast food establishments, grocery stores. But for a lot of us, you know, we tend to get into parking lots such as Lowe's, Home Depot. So some of the key things is to remember when we're actually doing is that we always try to attempt to look for the closest parking lot, parking space that we can find, right, when we're entering. But another key thing to remember, as always, is, guys, as far as control your speed, making sure you're at a pace where you have enough time to react, because again, when you are inside of a parking lot, you never know what to expect, right? So for instance, kids in a parking lot, when you open a door for a kid, the first thing their reaction to do is to run, right? So we don't know, in dealing with the type of environment we're in with a lot of cars, you don't know what's coming in between or what can come out, or even as far as identifying just pedestrians as they're walking out. They may be complacent as far as thinking about something else and not realizing that they're in the path of a vehicle. So as real key, another key area, guys, is that, you know, a lot of our incidents occur around backing, you know. So one thing to remember is that if you don't have to back, do not back. Take the opportunity and identify as far as parking areas where you can actually pull through. You know, pull throughs would definitely help you as far as to have control of your driving, as far as control of what's in front of you, versus backing. We have no control, right? So only back if we have to, and again, having a spotter. So for instance, I'm looking at plenty of spaces. It may not be in the door, right? But my opportunity as far as finding a pull through is just as simple as this, you know, turning into a spot and facing out, facing forward. Now, when it's time for me to leave, once I leave out the place, the establishment, I can actually enter my vehicle, and prior to that, conduct my 360 walk around, right? Seeing what's around me, and also seeing what's around prior to you even exiting the vehicle, noticing your surroundings. But also when you're leaving out, looking at your surroundings, and when pulling out, you can actually pull through. As you can see in front of us, is that I can look left, right, look ahead, look behind me, and everything else. So that way, when I do turn, come out, I'm seeing everything in front of me, and I can actually continue going forward and proceeding. So always remember, control your speed entering a parking lot. Cars backing out, cars pulling out, pedestrians actually walking out of their car. You may have kids that have the opportunity of getting out. So please maintain your speed so you can react in enough time, and also eliminate backing. Find pull-throughs. So this may even go for when we are actually in a restaurant or even a fast food establishment, because a lot of time we want to pull in, and as far as find that quick parking spot to run in and run out. and not realizing that we pulled in and now we have to back out, right? And a lot of times that's where a backing incident may occur, or not even that, as far as even a side swipe, because we're not realizing when we get back in the car, you may have another vehicle that pulled alongside of you. So that's when we talk about conducting that 360 walk around, seeing what's on the side of you, because what's there when you come out versus when you went in may be totally different. So identifying that and making sure there's nothing that can obstruct you from when you're leaving out, okay? So please keep that in mind.
Driving through parked vehicles. When driving past a row of parked vehicles, you should keep a space between your vehicle and the parked vehicles. A person may step out of a parked vehicle or out from between the parked vehicles, or a vehicle may start to pull out suddenly. Be sure to drive with caution and be alert to the movements of pedestrians and other drivers.
Guys, again, continuing to proceed. Traffic light just turned green, but we're going to continue proceeding. You have cars parked. Again, sidewalk to sidewalk is what you're identifying. And one of the things you want to look for parked vehicles, if they're trying to come out, is looking for tail lights. And again, depending on the condition, the weather, the environment, you're looking for perhaps maybe smoke coming out the tailpipes, or you can look at maybe tires turn toward the road. So those type of things you want to look for, you know, perhaps if you know someone is maybe in that vehicle. If not, there's a lot of businesses that's open that people are just parked for. But again, expect the unexpected. That's one of our biggest thing if we can, right? So again, a lot of traffic lights. As you can see, they've been green for a little while. We just want to continue cruising on. Speed limit 25. We're doing approximately 20 miles an hour. Left, right, left again. And again, don't get fixated. Again, you're passing in some of these areas, especially with a lot of our guys, y'all passing in these areas y'all haven't seen or been before. You can become fixated on something that may amaze you. You know, so, but again, always want to continue to focus on what's around you as far as the traffic, because those conditions can change at any given time, right? So you can tell the road is starting to open up because the speed limit, so businesses is not as popular here, but now as you can see, the speed limits have done increased to 35 miles an hour, right? So car to my left, again, identify them just with a little wave, just that little acknowledgement. You're safe to continue to proceed. So as I'm seeing, we got a red light, traffic light up ahead. I'm gonna wanna make a right-hand turn. So now I'm in a left lane. I'm gonna get over, so I'm gonna put my signal light on, wait for about 5 seconds, continue looking at my rear, my side passenger mirror, and looking over my right shoulder, commencing over to the right lane. Cars coming up behind me. And how are you aware of that? Every 2 seconds, guys. Left mirror, right mirror, rear view mirror. That way you're continually knowing what's in your surroundings. Remember, people, you can only control what you have in front of you, right? And that's you. You can control what you have. You're the controller of your vehicle. You're responsible. Making a right-hand turn, getting over into the right lane. Red light. Again, at the traffic light. A lot of times you will see lights that's going to determine, or signage is going to tell you no turn on red. Just to be on the safe side, you want to just wait. Again, depending on the area that you're in, right? So we're going to proceed. Traffic started flowing, making a right-hand turn. Always stay in the lane that you're turning in. Just suppose this was a four-way lane. You want to stay in the lane you want to turn in. So if I'm making this right-hand turn, I want to continue to stay in my right-hand lane and continue to proceed forward instead of going straight directly into a left lane. Stay in your right lane.
traffic is just continue to proceed for me. Again, you may have people, I have one vehicle that's pretty close on me. You want to continue to remain your speed. Speed limit is 35 miles an hour. Continue to remain the speed that you're doing. Don't get nervous. A lot of people, what they tend to do as far as speed up, or they may want to hit brakes, that just cause accidents to happen, right? So what do you want to do? Continue to maintain what you're doing in a safe manner. Again, you can't control people. You can only control the vehicle that you're in. Approaching a red light, it's a stale light. Foot off the gas pedal, continually to decrease speed, gradually going forward.
Driving is a part of our everyday lives, but the frequency of driving while distracted and the lack of awareness about its effects combine to make it quite dangerous. It only takes a split second of unsafe driving to create a lifetime of pain and suffering. Remember, driving is a privilege, and your decisions do not affect only you, but other people on the road too. Safe driving behind the wheel will help ensure that you keep your focus on the road and avoid a disastrous situation.